The jet stream is about to make a dramatic shift. Multiple Arctic blasts headed our way, winter storm systems forming across several regions, and a possibility of snow reaching areas that don't typically see it this time of year. This video runs about 15 minutes. I'll walk you through the jet stream pattern that's driving all of this, break down two separate Arctic air masses and their timing, cover the winter storms developing throughout the week, and give you specific information for your region. Then we'll look at what's realistic and what's probably overhyped when it comes to the snow forecasts. Let's start with the big picture. The jet stream pattern over the next 7 to 10 days. Right now, we've got a storm system moving through the southeast and up the east coast. It brought some severe weather to the deep south yesterday, though it was fairly limited. 1 or 2 tornadoes in Mississippi. Nothing major. Today, there's still a marginal to slight risk for parts of Georgia, Alabama, and Florida through early afternoon. Isolated damaging winds, some hail, maybe a tornado or two. If you're in that corridor, stay aware through lunchtime. After 3 or 4 this afternoon, things should quiet down. That system pushes offshore. Behind it, we get a shot of cooler air Sunday and Monday across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Southeast. But that's not the main event. That's just the appetizer. The real change begins Monday and Tuesday. The jet stream starts diving out of the northwest. This opens the door for colder air to spill into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and East Coast. By Wednesday and Thursday, that dip becomes significant. We're talking about the jet stream dropping all the way down into the lower Ohio Valley and Dixie Alley. Polar air coming straight out of Canada, heading toward the Gulf Coast. For those along the Gulf Coast from the Central Gulf into Florida, you're looking at the coldest temperatures so far this winter. Not just this season, the coldest we've seen in quite a while. Now here's where it gets interesting. With that jet stream dip so far south, we could pick up moisture from the Gulf. That sets up the possibility for snow from the southern plains all the way into the mid-Atlantic. I'm not saying everyone in that broad area sees snow, but some locations definitely could. We might even see snow chances outside that zone, further south or west than you'd typically expect. Wednesday into Thursday, that's the window to watch. Then Friday and Saturday, the jet stream dips even harder, gets stronger too. That could bring another round of these snow events across the southern plains and mid-Atlantic as another low-pressure system moves over the Rockies next weekend. The pattern is shifting, no question about it. Let's talk temperatures. This is going to feel like a roller coaster. Actually, bigger than those roller coasters down in Florida, a lot bigger. Saturday and Sunday, we get that initial cool shot across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and East Coast. Noticeable, but not extreme. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, temperatures spike back up across most of the central and northern tier. Dallas, Fort Worth could hit near 70 degrees Tuesday. Areas across Texas and Oklahoma will be relatively warm. But Wednesday, that Arctic air spills out of Canada. Temperatures drop significantly through the day Wednesday all up and down the Mississippi River Valley. By Thursday morning, we're looking at low to mid-20s in Alabama, mid to upper 20s across Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, even down in Florida, temperatures in the 30s and 40s for most areas. The Panhandle could see upper 20s to low 30s. The wind chill makes it worse. Thursday morning across the southeast, you're looking at wind chills in the teens and 20s. Parts of Alabama could feel like 8 to 10 degrees. Now, for those of you up in Minnesota or Wisconsin, that sounds like nothing. But for the southeast, wind chills like that happen maybe a couple times each winter. Friday morning, Florida gets hit. Wind chills could drop to 20 degrees near Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, even down in Miami, it'll feel like 40 degrees. If you've lived in Florida for any length of time, you know 40 degrees is not your typical winter morning. Most folks down there don't own heavy coats. If you're in Alabama, you might finally get to put away those shorts for a few days. That first Arctic blast hits Wednesday and Thursday, more intense but more focused geographically. Then Friday into next weekend, a second shot of cold air builds across the Great Plains and High Plains. This one covers more territory, from Texas back into the Great Lakes. Could even recharge into next week, though that's 9 days out. Too early to pin down specifics. The GFS model shows a large area of cold air building across the northern tier next week. Whether that fully unleashes across the country, we'll have to wait and see. But we know this much. 2 Arctic blasts over the next 7 days. First one Wednesday and Thursday. Second one Friday into the weekend. Now let's get into the winter storm systems and where snow is possible. Today, we've got light winter weather across the Great Lakes. Winter weather advisories up for most of northern Michigan. Light to moderate snow continues through the day. The Bears are playing in Chicago this afternoon. Winds will be strong, but snow amounts won't be significant. This activity continues tonight into early Sunday across the Great Lakes and Northeast. Then moves out Monday. Monday looks quiet for most of the country. Hardly any precipitation anywhere. Good travel day if you need to get somewhere. Tuesday, our next system enters. An Alberta clipper intensifying as it moves into the Great Lakes. Should bring some snow to the Great Lakes Tuesday, mostly light amounts. Wednesday, it strengthens as it moves toward the northeast. That's when Arctic air starts spilling out of Canada. Snow develops across parts of Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana. Not expecting anything heavy Wednesday, maybe a few inches in spots. Thursday is when things get more interesting. Snow could reach as far south as Georgia. The GFS model shows a small area of light snow over central Georgia Thursday morning. Now whether that actually happens depends on moisture. But with Arctic air diving all the way to the Gulf Coast, if we get any moisture pulled northward by the jet stream and low-level winds, snow becomes possible along that temperature boundary. Here's the key question. Does the jet stream pick up enough moisture from the Gulf to fuel a significant mid-Atlantic winter storm? Maybe even a nor'easter Thursday into Friday? If that happens, we could see heavy snow across the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. But I need to be straight with you. The models are all over the place on this. Anything beyond 5 days out, nor'easters and mid-Atlantic snowstorms are extremely difficult to forecast. This is about 6 days away right now. Could happen, could fall apart. The GFS model is showing what would be a historic winter storm from the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast. Pretty impressive snow totals. But the European model shows nothing during that same time frame. The National Weather Service blend of models, which averages multiple models together, doesn't show much either. So where does that leave us? A winter storm is possible. It's not off the table, but we're not there yet. Models need to come into better agreement. These types of storms are some of the hardest to predict in United States winter weather. Over the next few days, we'll watch the trends. If this develops into something significant, you'll know. Friday and Saturday, another shot of cold air pushes south. Could bring moisture into parts of Texas. Rare snowfall possible in Texas late Friday into Saturday. But again, that's a week out. Exact positioning is uncertain. With air that cold reaching that far south, snow chances could extend across Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe back into the Northeast again. The challenge with snow forecasts beyond 5 days is moisture. Temperature forecasts are more reliable. Fewer variables. Moisture has many more variables. Wind patterns, timing, available moisture sources. All of these affect whether snow actually falls and where. So yes, Arctic air is definitely coming. Yes, we'll see winter weather. The question is where the heaviest snow sets up and how much falls. That becomes clearer as we get closer. Let me give you the realistic assessment. Snow is possible as far south as Georgia by end of week. Could happen. But that GFS model showing massive snow from the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast? That's probably overkill at this range. Other models aren't seeing it. We need to see model agreement before getting too confident about specific amounts or locations. For those asking about specific areas. Central and northern New Jersey, you could see snow late week if that nor'easter develops. But it's too early for specifics. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, you're looking at snow chances Wednesday into Thursday from that first system, probably light to moderate amounts. Upper Midwest, you've seen this before, not much changing for you this week. If you're traveling this week, Monday looks good, Tuesday is manageable. Wednesday through Friday, that's when you need to pay attention. Road conditions could deteriorate quickly as temperatures drop and snow develops. If you can delay travel until next weekend, that might be smarter. For preparation, this isn't complicated. If you're in the southeast and you've been enjoying 70-degree weather, that's about to end. Make sure you have layers. Check on elderly family members and neighbors. They're more vulnerable to sudden temperature drops. If you've got plants outside that can't handle freezing temperatures, bring them in Wednesday. Up in the Midwest and Northeast, you know the drill. You've been through worse than this. Back in 1993, The superstorm brought much more significant snow and much colder temperatures to a larger area. The polar vortex of 2014 was more extreme. This is winter. This is what winter looks like. If you're in Florida and you haven't lived there long, understand that when it gets down to the 30s and 40s with wind chill in the 20s, that feels cold, especially if you're not used to it. Have something warm to wear. Most importantly, protect your pipes. Frozen pipes cause expensive damage. Let faucets drip overnight when temperatures drop below freezing. For those in Texas, if snow does develop late week, roads will be problematic. Texas doesn't have the infrastructure for snow removal that northern states have. A couple inches of snow in Texas creates more travel problems than 6 inches in Michigan. Stay home if possible when winter weather arrives. The West Coast gets a break this week. High pressure along the coast means California, Oregon, Washington see calmer conditions compared to what you've dealt with through December and early January. All those atmospheric rivers, all that rain and mountain snow, that pattern takes a break. Enjoy the quiet weather while you can. One more point about confidence levels. The Arctic air? High confidence. That's happening. The cold temperatures across the southeast Thursday and Friday? High confidence. The general snow chances across the Midwest and Great Lakes Wednesday and Thursday? Moderate to high confidence. The potential nor'easter or mid-Atlantic snowstorm? Low confidence right now. The Texas snow chances next weekend? Low confidence at this range. Models will update over the next few days. Trends will become clearer. We'll have better information by Monday or Tuesday about that potential mid-Atlantic storm. We'll have better information by Wednesday or Thursday about the Texas situation next weekend. I'll have updates as this pattern develops. If you need official warnings for your specific location, check weather.gov. The National Weather Service issues all the official watches and warnings. What I'm giving you here is the broader pattern, the forecast reasoning, and practical guidance based on the data. This is a significant pattern change. Winter is making a comeback. But it's not unprecedented. It's not the apocalypse. It's January. This is what January does. Cold air, winter storms, temperature swings. Standard operating procedure for this time of year. The key is staying informed and being prepared. Don't panic. Don't ignore it either. Check the forecast daily as this develops. Have what you need ready before the weather arrives. And if you're in an area that could see snow, remember that predictions will get more accurate as we get closer. I'll have another update early in the week. We'll see how the models are trending. We'll see if that nor'easter potential increases or decreases. We'll track the Arctic air as it moves south. Stay safe out there.